Okay, is it 9 o'clock? It is. Okay, good morning. We're gonna call the Public Works October 3rd meeting to order. We need to make a motion to make me chair or no?
I think we do.
Yeah.
We do.
Is there a motion to make me acting chair?
Okay, can I even make the motion? I'm not even on this committee.
Carrie's gonna make the motion.
Oh, I make the motion to have
Oh,
Jim.
wait a minute, let's first, we're gonna make a motion to make members, Tornatori and Eckhoff members of the committee for purpose of quorum. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, now is there a motion to make me acting chair since we don't have a
There's a
chair or
motion
vice
to
chair?
make you acting chair.
Okay. Second. Is there a motion and second? Sam, second?
Sure.
Okay, all in favor?
Seems
Aye.
like it's going.
Aye, okay. Let's see, should we have a roll call now?
Yes.
Okay.
Chair Garcia, Vice Chair Ozog, Member Cahill, Member Desart, Member Galassi,
Here.
Member Zay.
Here.
I think you gotta go.
Okay, Member Eckhoff,
Here.
Member Tornatori.
Here.
Okay. Okay, let the record note, it's all Republicans here today. I'm not here. Okay, do we have any, no remarks? Paula wasn't feeling well, hope she feels better, and I'm sure she'll be back next week. We have any public comment?
No.
No public comment. Okay, is there a motion to approve the minutes of Tuesday, September 19th?
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion, a second?
Second.
Second. Any questions or corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, consent calendar. Is there a motion on 23/31/41 Joseph J. Henderson and Sons contract extension from June 30th, 2024 is needed for delays in manufacturing delivery of treatment plant equipment. No change in contract amount.
So moved.
Second.
Motion on second. Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 7, claims report. Is there a motion on claims report 23/31/42 payment of claims, Public Works and Facilities Management?
Motion.
Motion a second. Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Move on to joint purchasing agreement. Is there a motion on 8A 23/31/43? Recommendation approval contractor Herc Rentals to provide rental equipment or rental services as needed for county facilities period of November 1st, 2023 through October 31st, 2024. Contract not to exceed $16,000. This is $6,000 for facilities management, $10,000 public works. Is there a motion? Motion by Member Bossy, seconded by Member Tornatori. Any questions? Is this like rent, like good stuff, like make like a dunking tank or anything like that, or
It depends which ones are good, but like the aerial lifts, we do that a lot.
nothing fun?
Nothing
Okay,
fun.
sounds good. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Move to 8B. Is there a motion on 23/31/44? Contract issued to Johnson Controls to provide planned service agreement to maintain building automation system at the county complex. The period of December 1st, 2023 through November 30th, 2024. Contract not to exceed $27,260. Moved by Member Tornatori, second by Member Galassi. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9, professional service agreement. Is there a motion on FMP 83-23, recommendation approval contract to Kluger Inc. to provide professional architectural and engineering design services for boiler number 2 replacement in the power plant, and add new heat exchanger to JOF building, place power utility tunnel exhaust fans, replace 4 air supply units, the power plant, from the period October 10th, 2023 through November 30th, 2025, amount not to exceed $199,125. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Member Galassi, second by Member Tornatori. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 10, action items. Your motion on 10A, FMR 4-23, recommendation approval agreement between DuPage County and the DuPage County Bar Association for lease of space at the Henry J. Hyde Judicial Office for facilities management monthly rate of $500 for a 4-year period from April 1st, 2024 through March 31st, 2028.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second.
I just wanted to know where it stays in the courthouse.
It's
Yeah.
the other building, same second or third floor.
Third
I
floor,
don't
it's
know.
third floor.
Third floor.
That's where-
They've been tenants of ours for many
Yeah.
years.
That's where we have the table of knowledge.
What's that?
That's where we have the table of knowledge.
Okay, I didn't know there was a bar at the judicial complex. So now, yeah.
I have to go over there more often.
They don't be there all the time now.
We have a motion.
That's Thursday.
Yep,
You marked me in, I was in that environmental meeting.
no problem.
Still
Member Cahill in attendance. We have a motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Move on to item 11, informational. Is there a motion to receive and place on file DCP 1723 contract approval to Excella for annual subscription for software integration, online permitting software, Bluebeam plan review, period December 1st, 2023 through November 30th, 2024. Let's see what we got here. Public Works, $7,654. That's all for you guys, right?
Yep.
Okay. Your motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, member Cahill. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, move on to old business. Just so we know, another Republican here, just so it's for the record, 5 of them. Old business, didn't we,
one item.
chairs had about the fair?
There was a request to have Tim McGuire from the Fair Association show up to give an update on Rib Fest and potentially the county fair. That was.
And just to add, it's not on your agenda because Nick is, I'm sorry, Jim is very gracious. He returned from a 2-week vacation yesterday, so.
Perfect.
A little bit jet lag.
From Europe, so we weren't sure he would be able to be here,
Wow.
but that's
Let's
why
hear
it
about
wasn't on
that
the
first.
agenda.
There you go, wonderful, great trip.
Where'd you go?
Germany, Switzerland, France, and Ireland.
Wow, what was your favorite?
All county fairs.
Ireland.
Yeah, of course it is.
But Strasbourg, France was pretty cool.
Last day of the Rib Fest, as soon as it was done, you flew out like right away after Rib Fest, didn't you?
Tuesday, after Rib Fest. So I stayed around and cleaned up for 2 days, and then we head over Germany. We did Oktoberfest, which was quite a bit of fun. That was a good time. I recommend that for everybody.
Wow.
Try that once in your lifetime.
You in Munich?
No, we were in Strasbourg.
Oh, wow.
That's where we were at for that. It was really good. It was a lot of fun.
Do you have any Guinness in Ireland?
In Ireland, yes. Did the Guinness tour, learned how to pour the perfect pint and all that, and met a lot of we have a lot of family there, both my wife and I, so we visited family. Wonderful time.
Wow.
So Jim, sorry, I think a lot of them aren't here, so I have a feeling you're gonna have to come back, but I think the concern was just the status at the county fair. I know you had some issues. There were no rides this year and some other stuff, and you and I had
Attendance was
talked.
Down, right?
Pardon me?
Attendance was down?
3 parts. So actually, I didn't know I was talking about the fair, so I'm coming a little unprepared for that section of it, but I can go on to it. So we knew going in, we had a carnival that was with us for many years. The McLean County Fair moved on to our dates. They're a 5-day event down in McLean County, down Bloomington Normal area. It's a much bigger fair than we are. Traditionally, what had happened, Fantasy Amusement would play our fair, then go to McLean County. McLean County moved to our dates, so did 15 other fairs in the state. So with COVID, over 50% of your carnival companies went out of business, no longer exist, or were consolidated and eaten up into others. So going into the fair, we knew we had an issue. We did have rides. We didn't have the extravagant rides. We were more of a kiddie carnival. So we brought in 3 different providers who were able to give us kiddie rides to do that. So we knew going in, so we knew our revenues were going to take a hit. We didn't sell the mega passes knowing that we didn't have the same carnival that we had presented before. We tried desperately to find a way to do it. We couldn't get a carnival to come on board that late notice because they were all booked at other locations. And we didn't want to change our fair dates. We could have changed the fair dates and possibly come up with a carnival, and we weren't able to. Eid Fest, which is another event that happens on our fairgrounds, they had the same issue. They lost their carnival, their event didn't happen. They are planning to come back next year. Rib Fest that we just finished ran into the same problem. Carnival industry has changed completely. They weren't able to pull in a carnival. So Rib Fest did not have a carnival as well. We actually did piece something together that worked. If you had little kids and you know, the small kids, it was fine. We had lines, people enjoyed it. We did not have the extravagant rides. We didn't have the big, crazy teenage type rides. We didn't have any of that. Part of us were okay with that because due coming into the summer, there was a lot of issues at carnivals throughout the county and south of us where the teens were doing this raging thing. So we were okay. We planned accordingly. We cut back on our expenditures. We knew we weren't going to have that revenue to help us with the event. So we just held it to where it was at. Friday hit, unbelievable hot temperatures. That's our day camp and school and camp. We lost over 75% of our camps. They called ahead of time saying that they weren't gonna come. So attendance was down due to that. And I would guesstimate that 75% of our regular attendees on a Friday didn't show up because of the heat. It was brutal out there. And then we had the storm hit us, and we shut down Friday night. We made the right call. Thank you to all the support and help we get from Wheaton Fire, Wheaton PD, and OSHM. They help us a ton and gave us the heads up. We made the call. We had the whole grounds evacuated by 6 o'clock. I was the last one to pull off the grounds, and I ran into Craig. We were sitting in the parking lot talking for a minute, and ba-boom, here comes the first lightning strike. It dropped right between us, you guys, and us. So we made the right call. We got everyone home safely. And then Saturday and Sunday, we had great days. They were really good days. We tried some new things this year. We had pickleball, went over really well. Friday, people had dropped out because of the heat. Saturday, they turned people away because we had too many people wanting to play. Sunday was the same thing. We had too many people who wanted to play. Saturday night, I was flicking the lights at 11:15, trying to get people to leave the pickleball courts. So we tried some different things that were well received and worked. And we had the sheriff safety Saturday that was down below. That helped us quite a bit. There was a nice event what they put on. And we had a volleyball tournament on the north end. So we're trying to re-expand it. Next year, we are going to 4 days. It looks like we do have a carnival with extravagant rides, with everything to bring it back this year. So we're bringing all 3 of those events together and presenting them so that makes it more lucrative for a carnival to join us. So that looks like that's happening. So keeping my fingers crossed that we get that back. We would like to have the carnival back to where it was at. And we want to keep building the fair back to where it was at pre-COVID. So this year we are going to 4 days instead of the 3. So we are adding 1 more day, and we're hoping to get it back to the 5-day eventually down the road. So.
You know, we had talked, a lot of people, obviously my area, the 4-H people, I know we had passed some resolutions and they talk about less animals being out there more and more all the time. They're blaming it on the county board. And I'd like to revisit that and see, because I think when we passed it years ago is the extent of, you know, exotic animals and all that. I think the 4-H and the people you used to have out there, I mean, we used to have a good showing of people that brought a lot of people in, and now there's not a lot of animals like it used to be. So I think that needs to be, I think we've gone past the extent of where.
Well, there's 2 parts to that. There aren't all those animals left in DuPage County. So at one point, DuPage County did have production agriculture. We no longer have any production agriculture in DuPage County. So what we had been doing is pulling in from outer counties to add our barns and fill them up. And then we pay out premiums for that. So we made a decision as a board not to continue to do that. That was an expense to us of over $50,000 to bring those people in, do the judging, do the agricultural shows. And that's not benefiting DuPage County. And it was actually hurting us. And after COVID is when we decided not to do it because we were rebuilding and we didn't have the financial resources. If we build back up and we get strong enough to do it again, we may revisit doing that. What we're trying to do is bring more agricultural exhibits, educational stuff. We had hogs, we had a dairy exhibit. We had a lot of the 4-H sheep, goats, chickens, rabbits, all of those things were back this year, which we do have a lot happening in DuPage with those. We just don't have any production agriculture. There are no hog farms left here. There are no dairy farms. There's no beef farms left in DuPage County anywhere. So, and there's not, you got to go even a little beyond Kane before you get to those. So that was part of the reason for that, Jim. We made a decision not to expense that out for that size, what we're doing. So it's something we're trying to figure out a better way to do it. Bring more agriculture. We still want to do the messaging of agriculture, but we limited that expense because the position we were in.
Okay. I just want to make sure what we pass isn't hindering you, you know.
What the hindering is on different things, because the fair, we're still open to be able to do what we want, but we do have a lot of events that come to the fair grounds. We have an American Indian powwow. We have Eat Fest. Things that those people are looking for is like the camel rides, the pony rides, things like that. That's part of their culture and important to them, and we're not able to allow them to do those things. So that's just some of the things, but for the most part, the fair, those were decisions that we made.
Okay.
Animal wise.
Any questions on fair or Ribfest?
So was the fair ultimately, like how financially, was it a break even? Did you end up losing
About a
money?
break even.
Break even,
We came
okay.
out about a break even.
And what is the goal annually for the financial piece?
On the fair, if the year before we made money, which is our goal, to make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
The
Is that,
grounds
I mean,
are
a little bit, is that
expensive.
like, how much, 250,000, a million, I mean, what's a little bit?
No, a little bit.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
They do share their financial information with
Yeah.
us, and that will be
Okay.
forthcoming to you.
Yeah.
And they break out the fair in a separate category.
What we
And
try
I
to,
don't remember the numbers either.
yeah, what we try to do is pick off, projects on the fairgrounds. I see you guys got a $200,000, replacement of heating and AC units. We have one sitting over there that's looming that we keep bandaging that we need to address. So we do try to make it profitable so that we can address some of those concerns on the fairgrounds and make our improvements that are needed, for all the events that we have on the grounds. But it's little bits. It's nowhere near.
Yeah.
I've been on the fair board 25 years. The first year we made money was, that I can say that we were in the green, was last year. Coming out of COVID, we had beautiful weather, perfect weather. Carnival went off well. People came out because of the end of COVID, and we had a spectacular year. Traditionally at the fair, you're gonna hit 1 or 2 days of weather, and weather is very impactful on an outdoor event. And this year we were impacted greatly by that. So it's a balancing of year to year, but no, our gate is $10 to get in, $5 for kids. We're not,
Yeah.
we're not the $30, $40, $50 gate. We're keeping it family friendly, reasonable, and affordable for all the community.
And if you bring back the carnival next year, it sounds like it's a draw, but it does add the concern of the teen,
That does, but we have policing, we have our own private security, Wikipedia is on the grounds, and the sheriff's department helps us secure the carnival. So we've never had an issue
Yeah.
on our grounds and our fairs. It's always been good.
Yeah.
And the carnival is a revenue generator.
Yeah.
It's one of your biggest revenue generators we have on the fair is the carnival. And that's what really knocked it out of the park for us last year, because the numbers of people and the people who came for the carnival.
Well, I'm glad you brought pickleball in, and I promise to play in the tournament next year. Jim offered to be my partner, so
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna be good.
Well, as long as we have a defibrillator there. we'll be good. There you go. Okay.
Getting back to Rib Fest, are they gonna share the numbers with us on Rib Fest? What happened that weekend?
I don't know what that is, because they're not part of
Right.
me or
Separate
anything.
thing.
I can share with you my experience with Ribfest. We had planned Ribfest going in for an 18,000 person a day event. And when we were getting close to 3 weeks out and we were still at to be announced, I had called a meeting because I was getting very nervous.
Right.
What our role is at Ribfest, we take on all of the logistics.
Right.
So all your porta potties, all your garbage removal, all your staffing, all your parking attendants, all your security, all your city licensing, all of that stuff that could go wrong, we control, and we take on that responsibility, which is hundreds of thousands of dollars of payments out to people. Porta potties, for instance, last year at Ribfest was over $55,000. So people don't know the numbers when you do events, but when you plan for 18,000 people, you have to have it prepared for that.
Right.
Well, as we got closer to Ribfest, we had a couple more meetings. We were able to convince them to downsize. We restructured our whole grounds and how the thing was set up. They didn't have the carnival, which was a revenue stream that was missing. The concerts weren't announced until very late. So there was just things there, and I was committing to spending all this money to put on this event. They were in agreement. We shrunk and resized the event. We did it all in the north end. I was able to reduce staffing. I was able to reduce security, significant, temporary electrics, things like that, that we were able to pull it down. We quickly retooled it. I have not talked to them since I've been back home.
So I'm not clear. So we, as a county, invest all this resources in Rib Fest. And we also gave them money to help with their marketing. What did they do for the people the county? I mean, did they reimburse us? Did they?
Yeah, well, let me go back one. From our position as a fair association, we're not necessarily county. We're a non-for-profit that manages and operates the fairgrounds and the buildings and own the buildings over there.
Okay.
We built that years ago, 70 years ago. So they do reimburse us for our expenses. We enter a contract with them to
Okay.
do all of this work for them. So we do get reimbursed. I haven't ironed everything out yet. I still have some invoices that'll come in. Additional city policing is gonna show up, some fire invoices. So I know there's invoices that we're at the second, third of the month. I'm gonna start getting those in, and so I'll finalize everything. I don't know where we're gonna come out at the end of the day with RibFest, because I don't know where they came out. Friday, well, let me start with the grounds. The grounds were perfect. They were beautiful. The layout really worked. We shifted it. Anybody who was on the grounds, tons of compliments. It was clean. It was pretty. It was nicely set up. Plenty of room for people to sit and eat. The rivers were comfortable, how that was set up. Everything moved very well. It worked really well. Friday night concert, they had a really good crowd out there. Again, lots of compliments on the concert venue. We did it in the grass area between our horseshoe and the parking deck. And it's a beautiful venue. I wish they would have done that last year. We pushed for that. They wanted to take the other side. It's a much nicer venue. Cleared out really well. We had no incidents whatsoever on the grounds. Everything went smooth. No even, emergency calls, anything like that. It was just a really good event. It went well. And Friday night was very well attended, a good show. Also a very expensive concert to put on for them. Saturday, the artist they had for that event, it was very disappointing. There was not a crowd. And so from a revenue side, ticket sales to a concert, that's where they're getting their money. Big crowds, beer sales, alcohol sales, that's where they're getting their money. That's the revenue side of RibFest, which I'm not privy to. I don't know where that's
Well, I
at.
think I would like to recommend that they provide us the detailed numbers of that event, because we as a county gave them money.
And I'm not part of that, so I don't.
Can we put that on the record going forward, Jim?
I mean, we can ask them. I mean, I don't
Well,
know.
we gave them money. They have to be able to give us the financial statements on how it worked, because,
We can make the request. I mean, and if they don't follow through, I know that they're gonna be coming back to the board for more money next year. And if they don't give us the information,
No, we
then
won't give
that
them the
becomes, but they are a completely separate entity and there is no obligation, although because we gave them ARPA money,
yes.
there are reporting requirements, and I can talk to the finance, so there are reporting requirements they must supply us.
Right, I think that's really something the board would like to look at, because that wasn't, they asked for a lot of money originally,
Yeah.
100 and something, and we brought it down to 50,000 or 25.
I think it's 20, yeah, you're right, 25, yeah.
But I think we need to see if that was something going forward, based on what you're telling me and the investment that you may, in fact, not be completely reimbursed
And we don't know that.
for your
But
expenses.
I don't know where I'm at yet. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't know where we
Well,
iron
let's
this
see
all
your
out.
numbers and we'll see their numbers, and then we can decide going
Yeah.
forward what we
Yeah.
need to do on
But-
this.
For the long term, what RibFest has done and why we're excited to help them, it's a very well-known event. It's very well attended. Last year, they had a really well-attended event, great event. It was free to the community to come out for it. This year, they upped it to $5. They took a hit last year on the Toby Keith thing that hurt them, I think, financially, just because the guy bailed out on Sunday and the concert was supposed to be on Friday. He had health reasons why he did that, but I think that was a hit that they, coming out of COVID, their first one out, and then they took that hit. But long-term, RibFest committee and what they've done a lot of wonderful things for the community. Millions of dollars they give back to
Right.
good causes. So we were excited to help support them and help them. I'm just telling you about the
Right,
event
no,
and what happened.
because I'm just concerned because we gave them money, so we
Sunday,
have to
they're
assess.
good
whether
people to
it's-
work with. We enjoyed it. Sometimes when you do outdoor events and you're doing the planning, it can get a little bit, and I'm getting nervous because I know what the monies I'm gonna be putting out for.
Yeah.
And I'm getting nervous whether you're gonna be able to have the revenues. Because again, if you don't have crowds, you don't have sales at the alcohol, that's where your revenue comes from. And that's what I was seeing. So Friday night was a disappointment. I don't know if there was 500 people in the concert itself. On Sunday, they had 3 local bands who played. They did a nice job. We had torrential downpours that morning. We came in, we cleaned up, we got it ready, we opened on time. And surprisingly, there were people standing in line to come in. And the grounds, again, held up perfect. People were able to go up, get in the lines. We didn't have any issues. We had that prepped and ready, and they had a fairly good day on Sunday. So my hope for them next year is we have a carnival for them. They get out planning ahead of time a little bit better and able to wrap up some of their bands so they can have pre-sale tickets and they can get back running as smoothly as they used to operate.
Quick question, Jim. How many attendees were there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? If you were to guess each day.
I would say on Friday, 5,000 to 6,000. On Saturday at the concert venue, I don't think there was 500 people there.
Oh, wow.
There was more people who came and ate ribs. A lot of people. The funny thing about Rib Fest is kind of interesting. You watch people come in, they pay to get in, they walk in, they're carrying shopping bags. They go buy their ribs, they load the shopping bags, they walk out. They're not even coming to participate in the event. They're just coming to buy ribs. And there's a lot of people who do that. And so that's an interesting when you watch how it works. So.
Do you remember who the 2 bands were on Friday and Saturday night?
Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye Blind was Friday night, and Saturday night was
Country guy.
Vassar, Phil Vassar.
Oh, I guess
Great shows, both of them put on. They put on really
To
good
Cindy's-
shows, but they
to
just
Cindy's
don't have the
point,
numbers.
if we're investing in this, the goal is to try to bring in tourism and things like that. I think, again, this is just a granular point for us going forward. They really need to be able to announce who those bands are with a certain amount of,
Right.
runway before the event happens. Otherwise, the tourism piece kind of goes out the window because people don't have time to plan and come in for it. things like
Nobody's
that.
planning for TVA
Yeah,
or
exactly.
buying tickets. And that was my nervousness getting to where we got. I was grateful. They're a good group of people to work with. I enjoy working with them. This year, I think their committee was shorter in numbers than what they've had in the past. So there were some things we dealt with, we got through. But overall, I think it's a wonderful event for the community. It's a cool community event. It may need some retooling, like you said, to get those bands up front, get the carnival back in place. You gotta have your revenue pieces to make it successful.
Right.
Is there any plan to repair and use the grandstands again, or?
Eventually, I would like to do that. Yep, that could be a good thing. The grandstands they're solid as can be. It's a solid concrete structure. We've had 2 different structural engineers go over it. We have a problem with some spalling concrete. There was a design that happened that cut into that concrete. Moisture got up into there where the metal's at, created spalling concrete, created the pop, so it's got some trip hazards. The expense to redo that right now is not something that we have the resources to do it properly. We could piecemeal it together. It's easier for us to do what we're doing now. It's cheaper and it's working, but eventually it would be cool to get those back if we
We
could.
said you can't use it, right? When they came in to
It-
do this.
There was a mutual agreement when we went through that whole situation years back. I won't revisit that whole thing, but the building itself, there's spalling concrete, there's trip hazard stuff, but the building itself is sound as can be.
And then there used to be a 61-year tennis association group that
Yep.
used your.
Not 61, not 61, they were only there 57, so it's,
Sorry, and they told me 61.
no, 57. And the reason,
Thank you.
again, changes we made, the Tennis Club Association that used our grounds for all those years, we've been working with them to up their revenues and finding ways, we've met with them many times, trying to lift them up to pay. Their total use daily cost was $160, $68 from 7 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. It wasn't covering our electric, it wasn't covering the air conditioning, it wasn't covering the
They
heat.
paid you 168?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it balanced out to across the thing. So we kept working with them. How can we increase this revenue? Again, there's $200,000 of brand new heating and air conditioning units that need to be put on that building. We need to find revenue. We need partners who will help us do that. They're one of our main partners. They use that building for 7 months of the year. We do all the snow removal. We do all the washrooms. We do all the maintenance. We do all the heat, all the electric.
So are you still
And they're
talking?
paying 100, yeah, I still talk to them, but the reality was, it wasn't working. An opportunity came up for a volleyball club, which is very popular in DuPage County. DuPage County volleyball is the best in the state. You got normally out of your top 10 men's and women's at the high school level, 6 of them are from DuPage County. It's a huge venue. It worked out well. We had a club that came on and they were able to offer us, and it was their first presentation to us. It was over 3.5 times the monies that we were getting from tennis. We went back to tennis, talked to them again. Are there ways that, because again, long-term relationships, we were trying to keep it. They were not able to move at all. They actually moved backwards financially, and the volleyball moved in, and that volleyball also creates a lot more opportunities for us. We can have high school tournaments on the grounds. We have a professional men's and women's program who's already contacted us about doing some tournaments, which will bring additional revenues, but more opportunity on the fairgrounds with more activity. So, and what we are exploring for the tennis people is trying to put pickleball into our other building to give them an opportunity to still for the winter to gather and to do their thing.
Okay.
So,
Great. Thank you, Joe.
Can I suggest for your request, the next, when Jim has his numbers, go the next step on Ribfest, have Jim present to you, and then we go to the next step. Does that make sense to everybody?
I mean, I don't need to present. I mean, just give us some kind of
Well,
email or
some
something.
probably present, meaning he'll
Yeah.
submit.
Yeah, submit
Does
something
that
to us.
work? Make sense to you?
yeah, and
Okay.
if you want me to talk to the Ribfest folks, I can. I
Okay.
got to talk to them soon, but
Please follow up with them to see if you have the numbers and what contact Tim and I want you to do, and then we'll get it to the committee.
Very good. Thank
Okay,
you.
great. Thank you. Thank you.
More than a month before the.
Any new business? Okay, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Thanks, Brian.
Well done.